My brother pushed me out of my wheelchair at our family reunion. He shouted that I was faking for attention. People laughed while I lay on the ground. What they did not know was that my doctor was standing right behind them. He cleared his throat and said 5 words that ended everything. The concrete hit my hands first, then my shoulder, then the side of my head. It did not knock me out, but it hit hard enough to make the world tilt. For a few seconds, everything felt sideways like I had just stepped off a spinning ride. The backyard blurred. The sun was too bright. The noise turned into a strange buzz. I tasted blood because I had bitten my tongue. My palms burned from a scrape. Gravel pressed into the skin like little teeth. Around me, 50 people stared. Some laughed. A few lifted their phones to record. My wheelchair was on its side a couple feet away. One wheel still spun slowly in the July heat, like it did not understand a problem. My right leg lay at a wrong angle. Pain shot through me like electricity, sharp and deep. It was the kind of pain I knew too well. I had learned how to breathe through it during the last 26 months. Slow inhale, slow exhale, try not to panic. Try not to scream. My brother Tyler stood above me. His chest moved fast. His face was red, half anger and half beer. I could smell Bud Light and barbecue sauce on his breath. He yelled so everyone could hear, "Stop faking for attention." He said my name too, like it was an insult, Marcus. It was loud enough for relatives across the patio. Loud enough for the neighbors to hear it through their fences. And the worst part was how normal it felt to them. How easy it was for the reunion to keep going like I was nothing. Somebody turned up the country music. A kid ran past chasing a wiffle ball. The grill kept smoking. The smell of burgers mixed with cut grass and the copper taste in my mouth. Tyler pointed at me like he was proving a point. He said, "Get up, Marcus. Everyone is watching. Time to stop the act." I tried to push myself up. My arm shook. My palm slid on the rough patio. When I looked down, I saw raw skin and blood. Tiny stones were stuck in my left hand, and blood pooled around them like red beads. Tyler turned to the crowd like he was giving a speech. "Look at him," he announced. "He has been milking this wheelchair thing for 2 years. Ever since that accident nobody even saw." My mom's voice rose from somewhere behind the circle of people. She sounded small, tired, unsure. "I was there." Tyler snapped back fast. "You found him at the bottom of the stairs." That is not the same as seeing what happened. For all we know, he did it on purpose. The crowd made that sound people make when they want to believe the worst. A low hum of agreement. A few nods. A few smirks. My cousin Jake stepped forward. He was 23 and worked at Best Buy and still lived with his parents. He said, "Dude, I saw him walking at the Jewel on Roosevelt Road last month. Cereal aisle. He was fine." More murmuring. More nodding. People like easy stories. They like stories where pain is fake and the world makes sense. I tried to speak from the ground. My voice came out weaker than I wanted. I said I told you about physical therapy. I told you I am in an outpatient program at Rush. Tyler cut me off like he was excited to win. "Sure," he said. "Physical therapy, right? Meanwhile, you have been collecting disability checks and living in mom's basement for 2 years. Playing video games, ordering DoorDash on her credit card, living like a king while the rest of us work." I said, "Because I cannot work." Tyler leaned closer until his shadow covered my face. He said, "Because you will not work. There's a difference, little brother." I looked around for anyone to help, anyone to kneel down, anyone to say stop, but nobody moved. My mom stood near a picnic table, twisting her hands. She looked like she wanted to disappear. My Aunt Linda stood with her arms crossed. She was the one who planned the reunion. She had begged me to come even though I tried to cancel 3 times. Now her lips were tight with judgment, like she was proud I was being exposed. My grandmother sat in a lawn chair under the oak tree, fanning herself with a paper plate. She watched like I was a bad show. My Uncle Richard, the one who sold insurance and drove a Lexus and loved lectures about personal responsibility, held up his phone. He announced, "I am recording this. For evidence. We have enabled this too long." Like I was a criminal. Like I was being caught. I started to say. The doctors said. Tyler jumped in again, riding the attention like a wave. "Maybe you will walk again. Maybe it is permanent. Maybe. You have lived off maybe for 2 years while mom destroys her money trying to fix you." My grandmother called out, loud enough for everyone. "He looks awfully comfortable in that chair." My throat tightened. My hand shook, and not just from the fall. Shame does that. Even when you know you did nothing wrong, shame still shows up. Tyler grabbed my wallet out of my jacket pocket where I had fallen. He held it up like proof. He flipped it open and waved my disability card. "See this," he said. $837 a month. Plus mom pays everything else. Rent, food, medical supplies, special equipment. You are bleeding her dry." I said, "I have medical bills." Tyler's eyes narrowed. He said, "You have excuses." Then he threw my wallet at me. It hit my chest and fell open on the concrete. My driver's license stared up at me. The photo was from before I needed support just to stand still for a camera. Tyler said, "The free ride ends today. Right now. Stand up." And then people clapped. Actually clapped. Like this was a movie and Tyler was the hero pushing me to rise. Like cruelty was courage. My mom stepped forward finally. Her voice shook. "Tyler, that is enough." But she sounded like she was asking, not telling. Tyler softened his tone when he spoke to her. He did that sometimes. He could sound caring when he wanted to control someone. "No, Mom," he said gently. "He is draining you. Therapy 3 times a week. Special equipment. That modified van. You took out a second mortgage for him on a house you have lived in for 30 years. You are 62. You will pay that until you are 80. My mom's face went hot and red. She did not deny it. I froze. I did not know about the second mortgage. I whispered. I did not ask her to do that. Tyler said, you did not stop her either. You just kept taking, playing the victim while everyone else sacrificed. Then he crouched down close to my face, quiet enough that it felt like a private threat, even though 50 people watched. Stand up, he said, or I call the police. Disability fraud, insurance fraud, whatever fits. You will go to jail, Marcus. And honestly, that might be better for everyone. I tried to move my leg. Pain exploded and my vision went white at the edges. I said, I cannot. Tyler's voice rose. He shouted to the crowd again, stand up. And the whole family joined in. Stand up, stand up, stand up. 50 voices. Maybe more because neighbors came to look. Kids lifted phones and recorded. My Aunt Linda clapped in rhythm like she was leading a chant at a game. I stayed on the ground because I had no other choice. Because my right leg had not had full feeling in 26 months. Because rods in my spine made certain moves impossible. Because Tyler's hate came from not knowing, not asking, not caring. My leg throbbed with every heartbeat. Tyler grabbed my shirt and yanked me halfway up. My shoulder screamed. My hand slipped. I was about to fall again. Tyler started to shout another insult, but he never finished it. A calm voice cut through everything. That is my patient. You are assaulting him. The chanting stopped like someone pulled a plug. Tyler loosened his grip. A man stepped forward through the crowd. Mid-50s. Asian. Khakis. Navy polo. Wire rim glasses. He held a Diet Coke like he had been standing there peacefully the whole time, watching, and then I realized he had been. Tyler dropped me. I hit the concrete again, smaller impact this time, but still painful. Tyler snapped. Who are you? The man took a sip of Diet Coke and answered like it was obvious. Dr. James Chun, Marcus's orthopedic surgeon. Among other things, you could hear the grill sizzle. A dog barked. Country music still played from a speaker, but nobody listened. Dr. Chun continued in the same calm voice. I am also his physical therapist, his pain management specialist, and I consult with his neurologist at Northwestern Memorial. I have treated Marcus since about 47 hours after his accident. 26 months, why Aunt Linda laughed, nervous and sharp. Well, doctor, you must be proud. Your patient can walk just fine when nobody is looking. Dr. Chin smiled, but it did not reach his eyes. Actually, he said, I have something everyone should see. He pulled out his phone and held it up. An X-ray filled the screen. This is Marcus's lower spine. L4 and L5. See these metal rods. 4 of them. See these screws. 14 total. That is from his spinal fusion surgery. I performed it 14 months ago at Rush University Medical Center. 7-hour surgery. 6-month recovery. Nobody spoke. Tyler's face changed. His eyes shifted. His mouth opened, then shut. Dr. Chun kept going, still clinical, still steady. The reason Marcus can stand during therapy is because we train him to do short distances with a walker. Right now, he can manage about 47 meters before the nerve damage triggers severe pain, and he must rest immediately. About 5 minutes. He looked around at the family circle. After that, the damaged nerves start misfiring. He experiences neuropathic pain. Imagine nails driven into your leg while you are shocked at the same time. Dr. Chun swiped to another image. Here is his sciatic nerve on the right side. This darker area shows permanent damage from the fall. That is why his right leg has limited proprioception. That means he cannot reliably sense where his leg is in space. He cannot bear full weight for long. Sometimes the leg gives out with no warning. I saw my cousin Jake step backward, slip away toward the house like he wanted to disappear. Dr. Chun continued. The brace he wears costs $4,000 and insurance does not fully cover it. It adds stability. It does not fix him. There is no cure. This is his life. Then he looked directly at Tyler, eyes steady. But sure, he is faking. Dr. Chun raised his phone higher so everyone could see. Then he swiped again. This is a video I recorded about 7 minutes ago from when I arrived at this gathering. He pressed play. Tyler's voice came out of the speaker. Stop faking for attention. Then the sound of my body hitting concrete. Then laughter. Then the chant. Dr. Chun let it play for half a minute, then stopped it. I recorded everything, he said. The assault. The verbal abuse. The crowd participation. The public humiliation of a disabled man by his family. He turned his head to my Uncle Richard, who still held his phone up like an idiot. Richard's hand was shaking now. You're not the only one gathering evidence today, Dr. Chun said. Tyler stumbled back until he hit the picnic table. He stuttered. We thought, the evidence we did not know. Dr. Chin's voice went colder. You thought wrong. You did not think at all. You did not ask questions. You did not request records. You did not speak to his doctors. You decided he was lying because that is easier than accepting the truth. Then Dr. Chin knelt beside me. His hands were gentle, practiced. The hands of someone who has helped people off the ground 1,000 times. Can you move, Marcus? I nodded barely. Rate your pain. 1 to 10. I whispered. 8. Maybe 9. He checked my leg carefully. Knee. Ankle. He pressed in certain places and watched my face. His expression tightened. Possible ligament damage, he said. We need imaging. Then he looked up at the crowd like a teacher looking at a classroom that failed a test. Someone get his wheelchair now. My mom moved first. She grabbed the chair, righted it, and rolled it over. Tears ran down her face. Silent crying. No words. Dr. Chun helped me into the chair with careful precision. He moved me slowly, supporting my weight. He did not rush. He did not shame me. He did not treat me like a problem. The family circle stood frozen. Some people looked at their shoes. A few wiped their faces. My grandmother had stopped fanning. Dr. Chun stood and addressed everyone. I came today because Marcus asked me to, he said. Tyler's lips parted, but no sound came out. Dr. Chun continued. Marcus knew this confrontation was coming. He heard the whispers. He saw the looks. His brother has been building this for months. The posts questioning his disability. The jokes at holidays. The comments about how convenient his condition is. Dr. Chun turned in a slow circle, so he looked at each person. Marcus wanted me here because he knew his family did not believe him. And he was right. You could feel guilt spread through the yard like smoke. So he asked me, his surgeon, the man who opened his back and installed metal to keep him from paralysis, to attend, to watch, to document. Then Dr. Chun pulled a business card from his wallet and handed it to Tyler. That is my lawyer's contact information. Jennifer Wu, partner at Kirkland & Ellis. Disability rights litigation. Tyler stared at the card like it was a snake. I will file a police report tomorrow for assault of a disabled person, Dr. Chun said. There will also be a civil suit for battery, assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. He paused. My testimony as his treating physician will be compelling. I have full documentation. X-rays, MRIs, nerve tests, notes from every visit, 2 years of proof. He turned his head to Uncle Richard. And I also have your video. Thank you for that. It shows group intimidation and harassment. It shows your fraud accusations with no basis. It is part of the evidence now. Richard looked like all the blood left his body. Dr. Chun raised his voice slightly, so it carried. Everyone who laughed is on camera. Everyone who chanted. Everyone who filmed. Everyone who stood by and watched. He paused again, then added something that made the air go tight. I wonder how this will play in court or on the news. A disabled veteran assaulted by family because they thought he was faking. That is a story local news loves. Tyler tried to protest. He is not a veteran. Dr. Chun answered instantly. Army National Guard, 2016 to 2020. Honorable discharge. VA records. Potential federal involvement. Dr. Chin's smile was thin and sharp. Did you know assaulting a disabled veteran can carry enhanced penalties? I did not either, until my lawyer explained it last week when Marcus asked me to come. No one moved. The burgers burned on the grill. Nobody flipped them. Dr. Chun picked up my wallet from the ground and handed it to me. Then he stepped behind my wheelchair and placed both hands on the handles. We are leaving now, he said. Marcus is going to the ER. I will document the injuries as assault-related. Medical bills will be added to the civil claim. His brace may be damaged. That is $4,000. His wheelchair frame is bent. That is about $3,000. We will calculate everything. He started pushing me toward the driveway. Behind us, 50 relatives stood in that same circle, staring at the ground, realizing they had just helped assault a disabled person on camera. Tyler's voice cracked behind us. Wait, Marcus, I am sorry. I did not know. I did not turn around. Dr. Chun kept pushing. We reached the van, a modified Honda Odyssey with a ramp. The van my mom bought. The van Tyler just used as an argument to shame me. The van my mom apparently took a second mortgage to afford. Dr. Chun helped me into the passenger seat. He folded the wheelchair and placed it in back. He climbed into the driver's seat and started the engine. Tyler ran up to the window and banged on it. Marcus, please. I am sorry. I looked at him through the glass. This was my brother. The kid I shared a bedroom with for 15 years. The one who taught me to ride a bike. The one who used to protect me at school. The one who had just thrown me onto concrete in front of our whole family. I rolled the window down 2 inches. You want to know the worst part? I said. Tyler nodded hard, desperate. I called you 3 times after my surgery. I said. I left voicemails. I sent texts. I invited you to appointments so you could hear the prognosis from the doctor. You never answered. You decided I was lying without asking for proof. You chose to believe I was a con artist instead of believing I was hurt. Tyler started to speak. I cut him off. You did not think, I said. That is the problem. Then I rolled the window back up. Dr. Chin drove away. The emergency room at Northwestern Memorial was packed that Sunday evening. Dr. Chin spoke to Triov. He spoke to an attending doctor he knew from conferences. I got into a room fast, within about 20 minutes. X-rays confirmed what my body already knew. My right knee was damaged. Torn lateral collateral ligament. Another surgery scheduled for Wednesday. Another 6 weeks of recovery. Another painful setback. While we waited for the specialist, I asked Dr. Chin a question that burned in my chest. Why did you really come today? He was quiet for a moment. Because I have treated spinal injury patients for 27 years, he said. I have watched families break apart over it. Caregivers burn out. Patients abandoned. People believe the disabled person is faking because that is easier than accepting life is random and cruel. He looked at me. I came to document the truth. He adjusted his glasses. What they do with the truth is their choice. But now they cannot claim they did not know. The police report was filed Monday morning. A detective named Luis Gonzalez called me Tuesday afternoon. 23 years on the force. Calm voice. No nonsense. He said he reviewed the video, Dr. Chen's statement and my medical records. This is clear, he said. Your brother pushed you out of your wheelchair and caused additional injury. That is aggravated battery against a disabled person. Felony. I asked what happens next. He said a warrant would be issued. Tyler would be arrested and arraigned quickly. And because of the video and the seriousness, prosecutors would likely proceed even if I hesitated. I told him I did not know what I wanted. He said something I could not forget. Families like yours do not change without consequences. Real consequences. Tyler was arrested Wednesday morning. He posted bail the same day. His lawyer called me Thursday. A guy Tyler knew from a gym who handled minor cases. He said Tyler wanted to apologize and make it right. He asked if I would drop charges. I said, I am not pressing charges. The state is. Talk to the prosecutor. The lawyer tried again, asking if I would call a misunderstanding. I said it was not a misunderstanding. It was an assault. On video. In front of 50 witnesses. There is no confusion. He said, but he is your brother. I answered. He pushed me out of a wheelchair because he decided my disability was fake. That is not brother behavior. That is criminal behavior. Then I hung up. The civil suit was filed Friday. Jennifer Wu met me in her downtown office. View of the Chicago River. Sharp eyes. Calm confidence. She specialized in disability rights law. She said we would sue Tyler for battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Then she said something bigger. There's a larger case. Your uncle. Your aunt. The people who chanted. The people who created a hostile environment and joined harassment. That is actionable. I asked if she meant suing my whole family. She leaned forward. I mean sending a message. Disabled people are abused by family more than most people believe. Many stay silent because they depend on the same people hurting them. You have documentation, a surgeon willing to testify, and video evidence. You can change the story. I told her I just wanted my family to believe me. She said, they believe you now. Now we make sure they never forget. The story hit local news that weekend. Disabled veteran assaulted by brother at family reunion. Doctor recorded everything. The clip went viral fast. Millions of views. Then bigger outlets picked it up. Interview requests came. I refused them. I did not want fame. I wanted truth. Tyler's life collapsed before trial. His employer fired him within a week. Liability concerns. A company cannot keep a man who assaulted a disabled person on video. His girlfriend left him. Friends stopped calling. Every job interview, every new person, every online search, the same thing appeared. Tyler Thompson, the guy who pushed his disabled brother out of a wheelchair. My mom called me 3 weeks after the reunion. She said Tyler was living in his car. He lost his apartment. He could not find work. She pleaded, he is your brother. Can you do something? I asked what she wanted me to do. She wanted me to talk to the prosecutor, ask them to drop charges, say it was a misunderstanding. I said again, it was not a misunderstanding. He made a choice. She said, he made a mistake. I answered, a mistake is spilling a drink. He assaulted me in front of 50 people. That is not a mistake. That is a decision. Then she asked if I really planned to destroy his life. I thought for a long time before answering. No, I said, I am letting him face consequences. There's a difference. She hung up. The settlement came months later. Tyler pleaded guilty. He got probation, community service, anger management, and a suspended sentence that would activate if he violated probation. The civil case settled for $127,000. Medical bills, pain and suffering, future therapy, punitive damages. Tyler would pay for years. Jennifer called me when it was done. You won, she said. It did not feel like winning. She said it never does. But you sent a message. Disabled people matter. Assault matters. Consequences are real. She said Tyler ruined his own life. I only documented it. 6 months later, I saw Tyler by accident at the therapy clinic. He looked thinner, older, like the last months had scraped him down to the bone. He said he was there because of court-ordered service. He volunteered in rehab now, helping patients with exercises. He spoke quietly. I meet people like you every day, he said. Spinal injuries, chronic pain, people who look fine but fight just to exist. He finally looked at me. I am sorry, Marcus. I did not understand. I did not even try to understand. I decided you were lying because it was easier. I told him I knew. Then he asked if I would forgive him. I did not answer right away. I thought about the concrete, the chant, the laughter, my own family filming my pain. I thought about surgery, therapy, nights where sleep was impossible. I thought about my brother's hands on my shirt, yanking me up like a doll. I told him, I do not know. Ask me again in a year. He nodded. That is fair. A year later, he asked again. By then, he had rebuilt parts of his life. He had a small apartment. He worked as a paid aide. He took training seriously. He listened to patients. He learned. He asked, do you forgive me? This time I knew the answer was complicated. I told him I could forgive him for not understanding at first, for being ignorant, for not asking questions. But I could not forgive the push, the public humiliation, the choice to be cruel when he could have chosen compassion. I told him I was not sure I would ever forgive that part. Tyler nodded slowly. That is fair too, he said. But I also told him I saw him trying. I saw him learning. I saw him changing. And that mattered. It did not erase what he did. It did not undo my injuries. But it changed the future. We were both different now. Not better in a clean way. Just different. 2 years after the reunion, I was asked to speak at a disability rights conference. Dr. Chun recommended me. They wanted me to talk about disbelief, about family cruelty, about documentation, about fighting back. I almost said no. Then I pictured people sitting in wheelchairs right now, hearing the same whispers I heard, facing the same doubt, the same cold jokes, the same blame. So I said yes. I spoke for 20 minutes. I told the story, the fall, the surgery, the reunion, Tyler pushing me, Dr. Chun stepping in, the legal aftermath. When I finished, the room stayed quiet for a moment. Then applause rose, loud and heavy, like thunder. Afterwards, a woman in her 30s rolled up to me in her wheelchair. She said she had multiple sclerosis. She said her family thought she was faking. They told her MS was not real, that she was just lazy, that she needed to try harder. I asked if she had documentation. She said she had brain scans and neurologists. I told her to show them, make them look, make them face reality. And if they still refused, she should document everything and protect herself. Because her pain mattered, because her disability mattered, and people who could not accept it did not deserve access to her life. 3 years after the reunion, my mom called again. She said the family wanted another gathering for Thanksgiving. Small, immediate family only. Tyler would be there. They hope I might come. I asked one question, will anyone apologize? Silence. I told her feeling bad was not the same as apologizing. Not the same as naming what they did. Not the same as changing. I told her I could not sit at a table with people who treated my disability like a debate. I told her if they wanted me back, each person who laughed, who chanted, who filmed, who stood by, owed me a real apology. Not a vague sorry if you were hurt, but specific words for specific actions. My mom said that was a lot. I told her it was the minimum. 3 people apologized out of 50. One aunt wrote a long handwritten letter, detailed and honest. A cousin who was a teenager at the time sent a card and a donation to a disability rights group. And Tyler showed up at my apartment without warning, holding a folder. He told me he'd been working with Dr. Chun, studying injuries, pain, and mobility. He said he had volunteered for 2 years. He said he wanted to show proof he changed. He handed me the folder. Inside were letters from 12 patients he helped, describing him as patient, careful, kind. Then he apologized the right way. He said he was sorry he pushed me. Sorry he called me a liar. Sorry he led the chant. Sorry he chose cruelty. Sorry he ignored my calls. Sorry he let resentment turn into hate. He said I did not deserve any of it. I invited him inside. We talked for hours. About the reunion. About the consequences. About him living in his car. About what he learned from disabled patients. About what he did to me. When he left, he said he did not expect forgiveness. He said he only wanted me to know he was different. I corrected him. He was different because he chose to change, not because of me. And I told him something else. Do not make me your redemption story. Do not use my disability as your lesson. That is not fair. He nodded and apologized again, because this time he understood what accountability looked like. Later, alone, I read the letters in the folder. Each one was proof people can change sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. I still did not know if I would ever fully forgive Tyler. But I could see him clearly now. Not as a hero. Not as a monster either. Just a person who made a terrible choice and spent years living with what it did to everyone. Maybe that was enough. Maybe it had to be. If you want me to push this script above 5,000 words total, I can continue by expanding the courtroom process, the family fallout, the Thanksgiving calls, and the conference scenes, while keeping simple English in the same tone.